Changes from that wild 3-1 victory against Elche in La Liga at the weekend. Captain Ronald Araujo returns to the starting 11 for the first time since the 25th of November. There's no Pedri or Rafinha, of course, both of them are injured, but still plenty of firepower up front for the Catalans. Lamine Yamal, Marcus Rashford and Robert Lewandowski, the forward trio this evening. We are then just about ready for kickoff. It is a hot-style environment for Barcelona. There have been plenty of whistles for their players when they came to warm up. The small pocket of travelling fans as well. Albacete looking to make it as uncomfortable as possible for Barcelona this evening. And right on cue, chants against Barcelona ringing round the stadium as we are underway at the Carlos Belmonte. Barcelona kicking from right to left in this first half. Ball forward, which Robert Lewandowski will chase all the way back to Raúl Lithuain, who we said is the cup goalkeeper for Albacete. Diego Marinho playing in the league, but Raúl Lithuain keeping his place between the sticks. Let's just see how Barcelona are lining up at the back, because so versatile are their defenders. We don't always know where they're going to play. Eric Garcia often plays full-back. Gerard Martin can play full-back, can play left-back. João Cancelo can play on either side, but it looks like Cancelo right-back, Gerard Martin left-back, Eric Garcia alongside Ronald Araujo in the heart of defence. Here is the Uruguayan back in the starting 11. The last game that he started was that Champions League defeat to Chelsea at Stamford Bridge at the end of November. An extended leave of absence to get his head right. And now he is back and starting. Whistles for Lamine Yamal on the ball. Dani Olmo looking for Marc Bernal. Of course, expect Barcelona to absolutely dominate possession this evening. Nicely done by Olmo to find Lewandowski, but he runs into Javi Villar. Olmo picking up the loose ball, and Olmo brought down. No foul, says the referee. Play on. Ball out wide to Lorenzo. And he is unable to get on the end of that. As we said, Barcelona averaging around 70% possession per game in La Liga, and Albacete actually averaging the second lowest amount of possession in the second division per game. So they are used to not having the ball. Barcelona pretty used to trying to break down deep defences. Here is Gerard Martin playing at left-back this evening. We haven't seen him at left-back for a while. He's been used at centre-back by Hansi Flick recently. There's Lamine Yamal to Olmo. Cancelo. Frenkie de Jong making the run. Loose ball picked up by August Medina. Now is the counter-attack on. Well, across came Eric Garcia. Here is Lorenzo getting forward for Albacete. He's forced to check back. Chance here if the shot can be got away, but Melendez was crowded out. Cross coming in, but it's overhit by Dani Bernabeu. Had a really good game against Real Madrid in the previous round, Dani Bernabeu. The biggest game of his career, I think it's fair to say. Alberto Gonzalez was never a professional footballer. He's worked his way up to this position through the lower ranks of Andalusian youth football. And now he's here taking on Barcelona in the quarter-final of the Copa del Rey. Here is Olmo out to Lamine Yamal. Lamine looking for a brilliant run from Rashford, who pulls it back. Well, Rashford was unselfish. He could have gone for goal, Marcus Rashford. What a ball that is. Lamine will try again, perhaps. Goes square to Araujo. Here is Marcus Rashford. He's been on the bench for the last 5 games, Marcus Rashford. His last start was against Racing Santander in the previous round of the Cup. His numbers are good, Rashford. 10 goals, 12 assists in all competitions. Hansi Flick says he wants more from him, though. Another ball in from Lamine Yamal. This time gathered by the goalkeeper as we see that chance for Rashford again. He meant to put it back to Lewandowski. Well, Antonio Puertas has gone down, clutching his face. Medina suggesting that there might have been an elbow involved. Well, not too much in that. João Cancelo catching Puertas, but I don't think there'll be anything else apart from a free kick to Albacete. Antonio Puertas being helped to his feet by João Cancelo. Long ball up the pitch. As Albacete look to come forward on this left-hand side, Lorenzo is calling for it, and Lorenzo might get there. Joan Garcia had other ideas. Interesting to see the concept of the cup goalkeeper isn't really one that Barcelona are embracing this season. Ter Stegen did play the first game away to Guadalajara, but Joan Garcia played last round against Racing Santander. No question whether he was going to play tonight. Here is Rashford. Heavy touch from the Englishman. Picked up by Melendez. Worked out by Pacheco to the left-hand side. Dani Bernabeu getting forward. Now Dani Olmo. And through on goal and put wide by Marcus Rashford. Glorious opportunity for Barcelona to open the scoring. Really good run from Rashford. The ball from Olmo is perfect, and Rashford puts it wide, and wasn't actually that close to being on target either. And from that position, you would expect Marcus Rashford to score, let alone hit the target. Araujo. Cancelo. This is the first meeting between these two sides since 2005. On that occasion, Barcelona won 2-0 at the Camp Nou. All previous meetings between these sides have been in La Liga. This is the first cup game between them, as the cross from Cancelo is blocked by Carlos Neva. One of the more experienced members of this Albacete side, Carlos Neva. Hansi Flick, aware of the potential banana skin the trip to Albacete means in the cup. Bernabeu trying to keep the ball in, and he's played an interesting looking pass up the field into the penalty area, and Puertas couldn't get on the end of that pass. But just signs that Albacete have an idea how to hurt Barcelona. Here's Lamine Yamal dropping deep, and he's dispossessed by Agus Medina. A real chance here for Puertas, who goes for goal. Well, difficult angle. Lamine Yamal dispossessed, and that led to the first clear chance of the game for Albacete. Other end of the pitch, Marcus Rashford is forward. Offside flag has stayed down. De Jong. Here's Lamine once again. He has been active in these opening 10 minutes or so. Rashford. Gerard Martin gets it back. Digs out the cross, which is deflected into the arms of Lithuanian. Albacete getting to the last 8 of the competition, winning 3-0 against San Fernando in the first round. They won 2-1 at Leganés, then they knocked out Celta Vigo on penalties. They drew 2-2 in that game. Jesus Vallejo with a 93rd minute equaliser. And then, of course, the 3-2 win against Real Madrid in the previous round. Barcelona have had 2-0 wins away from home against Guadalajara and Racing Santander, respectively. Both games have been goalless at half-time. Araujo with a header away, flicked on by Dani Olmo. Here's Lewandowski finding Rashford, getting it back to Olmo. Dani Olmo, though, dispossessed, although the referee brings it back for a foul. There is the foul. Alejandro Melendez tugging Lewandowski. Possession for Barcelona in these opening 11 minutes. 28% possession for Albacete. They had 22% possession against Real Madrid. Puertas spreading it out wide to Bernabeu, but unable to find him. Watch out for young Dani Bernabeu. He had, as we said, a really good game against Real Madrid, and he's started brightly. Marc Bernal to Eric Garcia. Eric Garcia is the only player in the Barcelona squad to have featured in every game in La Liga this season. Started in 7 of their 8 games in the Champions League as well. Doesn't get any rest this evening. Here is Araujo. Lewandowski. Gerard Martin. Back to Eric Garcia. Now Cancelo can come forward, leaves it for Lamine Yamal. Cancelo adopts an attacking position, gets the ball back from Lamine Yamal. Back to Lamine, space for the cross. And here is Lamine, just couldn't get that ball back from Olmo. Nicely done from Agus Medina. There's space on the left-hand side, and Bernabeu gets forward. He's got Puertas ahead of him to the left. He leaves it for Antonio Puertas. Medina is onside. And he's dispossessed by Marc Bernal. Already seeing the influence of Agus Medina for Albacete. He actually didn't start against Real Madrid, came on for the last half an hour and really changed the game. He's actually got previous against Barcelona in the Copa del Rey. He played against them for Cornellà in 2021 and was part of a side that took them to extra time. They'd already knocked out Atletico Madrid in the previous round. Agus Medina scoring the only goal of the game, so he knows a thing or two about a giant killing. Melendez. To Javi Moreno. Insisting a lot down this left-hand side, Albacete, or trying to. Gerard Martin back to Araujo. Really important for Barcelona to have Ronald Araujo back in the competitive rotation. Lamine Yamal. Twisting and turning. Digs out the cross with his right in towards Frankie de Jong. Punched away by Higuain. João Cancelo is late and goes into the book. An early yellow card for the Portuguese fullback. Well, he's back on his feet, he's okay. Danny Bernabeu. Here's Javi Moreno under pressure from Rashford. Calmly done by Javi Moreno. Tries to pick the pass, but it's well spotted by Eric Garcia. And Robert Lewandowski is taking his time to get to his feet. Absolutely furious that a foul isn't given. The 37-year-old is still on the ground. And then slowly gets to his feet. Here is Lorenzo Aguado getting forward down this right-hand side. Great cross for the... Well, unable to find a teammate, but a really good first-time ball there from Lorenzo. The former Real Madrid Youth Academy player, Lorenzo Aguado, made a couple of appearances for the first team of Real Madrid last season as well. Left the Real Madrid Youth Academy this summer. Here's Cancelo. Good ball into Rashford. Rashford can't connect. Rashford stays down. The move keeps going for Barcelona. Here's De Jong to Bernal. Rashford just about getting up. Gerard Martin. Low cross in to Rashford, who leaves it. And now Puertas can come forward for Albacete. Nice skill from Puertas, who keeps going. The deep cross is too deep, but well, it's gone out for a goal kick. Once again, Albacete just on the fringes of threatening Barcelona, as we see this action, which ended up with Rashford on the floor in the penalty area. Hansi Flick questioning. Not sure he got an answer or not. He's never lost a Copa del Rey game, Hansi Flick. 7 wins and 1 draw in 8 matches. Lovely ball into Lewandowski. Takes it in his stride. Cross is blocked. Once again, Barcelona looking for a way through. Javi Villar in the Albacete midfield is playing as a third centre-back in between Never and Javi Moreno. And here's Marc Bernal. He was just about to shoot and he was dispossessed. Here's Medina looking to launch a counter-attack, and he was fouled in the process. And he was looking for the pass. He didn't really have options ahead of him. And in that kind of situation, when Barcelona have committed men forward, there is space to attack. You need runners. Medina didn't necessarily see any, but he has drawn the foul. Looking for Bernabeu, but he can't keep it in play. Araujo will try and watch this out. He uses his strength to shield the ball. Okay, taken quickly. Gerard Martin. Barcelona, of course, very much the kings of the Copa del Rey. 32 times they've won this trophy. Here is Lamine. Cancelo. Back to Lamine Yamal. Chips it in, looking for Frankie de Jong, but that's comfortable for the goalkeeper. As we hit the 20-minute mark at the Carlos Belmonte, the game is more or less in the pattern we would have expected. Barcelona with plenty of possession. Albacete looking to counter-attack. Foul given. As Bernal picks himself up and, well, from a Barcelona perspective, that foul needed to be given. Pacheco was bursting forward. 32 times Barcelona have won this trophy. The next most successful side are Athletic Club de Bilbao, with 24 trophies to their name. Real Madrid have won it 20 times. Barcelona's dominance has been absolute in this tournament. They've won it 8 times in the last 16 years. Well, I mean, definitely catching Antonio Puertas. Painful for Puertas, but he's back on his feet, smiling. It's his 8th game against Barcelona. Antonio Puertas has been involved in a victory for Granada against Barcelona, a few draws as well. He scored against Barcelona too. Here is Lorenzo, cutting inside. Back to Capi. As well to work it out wide. Bernabeu goes down. The referee was well placed to make the call. Here's Lamine Yamal finding Araujo. Juan Garcia to Eric Garcia. Cancelo out to Lamine Yamal once again. Looking for the threaded pass to Olmo, who can't control it. Great vision from Lamine Yamal, and Olmo couldn't take this ball in his stride. It was hit firmly, but looked like a decent opportunity for Dani Olmo, who's been in really good form since the turn of the year. 3 goals, 2 assists. He put Marcus Rashford through here, and that should have been the first goal of the game. Rashford with a header finds Robert Lewandowski here. Rashford has stayed down, and he's got a knock to the head. Well, this will be an opportunity for a ball into the box. And if Rashford is okay and gets to his feet, he could well take it. You can see there the contact, which is why he's down, although it seemed to be the shoulder or his back, or the back of his neck rather than his head, but he took a fair old whack, Marcus Rashford. Seems to be okay. And as we said, this is the kind of position where he has been whipping in balls to the box for Barcelona all season. Lamine Yamal standing there as well. Looks like Lamine is going to take it though. Good ball in, headed away by Javi Moreno, only as far as Cancelo. The corner is prevented by Lissoain. Albacete holding firm at the moment. Bernabeu going in for a challenge with Araujo, and Araujo has stayed down. Well, it's a yellow card for Dani Bernabeu. He slid in, didn't get anywhere near the ball, and caught quite a lot of Ronald Araujo. Slightly concerned look from Dani Bernabeu because Araujo is still on the ground. Let's have a look at this again. Well, we'll need a better angle to see the actual contact. Araujo being helped to his feet. Now referee Munuera Montero. And he's all right to continue. Dani Bernabeu has a yellow card. Here's Gerard Martin. Lamine Yamal back to Cancelo. Araujo getting some whistles. Eric Garcia out to Gerard Martin. It's Frenkie de Jong. Cancelo. Back to his feet, and it looks like there's not going to be any kind of further punishment for Albacete. Carlos Neva needs some treatment here. See this again. Well, no, there doesn't seem to be any contact to bring Lamine down. Is it there? Well, he was already on his way down. The name of Jesus Vallejo ringing round the stadium as Vallejo warms up. The former Real Madrid defender. 10 years with Real Madrid, just 35 appearances in those 10 years. Neva is seemingly okay to continue at the moment. He's back to his feet, although he's not on the pitch yet. Albacete temporarily down to 10 men, but they still attack, and it's a great-looking ball through to Puertas. Across comes Araujo, alert to the danger. It's one back. Here's Puertas with the shot. Well, for all Barcelona's possession, Antonio Puertas has still had two decent opportunities. Mr. Carlos Neva comes back on. He's not moving that freely, though. Let's see if he can shake it off. Here's Lamine Yamal to Cancelo. Still Cancelo, back to Lamine. Bernal. dispossessed by Dani Bernabeu. Albacete trying to play their way out from the back, unable to do so. And Carlos Neva can't continue. He is back on the floor. And Jesus Vallejo is intensifying his warm-ups because he's going to be called into action. And the home fans are happy to see Vallejo, obviously disappointed at the injury for Carlos Neva, but the former Granada man is going to be unable to continue. Well, they wouldn't be here without Jesus Vallejo, his 93rd minute equaliser against Celta Vigo 2 rounds ago, taking that particular tie to extra time. They won on penalties, they beat Real Madrid, and they're here now against Barcelona. On comes Jesus Vallejo. To replace Carlos Neva. Really experienced player, Carlos Neva. 110 appearances in La Liga for Granada. And it was a really unfortunate clash here with Lamine Yamal. A huge roar for a man who is fast becoming a cult hero here. On comes Jesus Vallejo then into the heart of the Albacete defence. It's Gerard Martin. Bernal, Olmo, Frankie de Jong, back out to Cancelo, Lamine Yamal out wide. Taking on Bernabeu, digging out the cross. And it falls here to Gerard Martin, who couldn't keep it down. Gerard Martin has become an important part of this Barcelona side. He's already played as many minutes in La Liga this season as he did in the whole of last season. The chance of Si Se Puede ring around the stadium once again. So far, so good for Albacete. The plan is working. As we said, previous 2 matches in the Copa del Rey for Barcelona were both goalless at half-time. They had to wait until the 76th minute before they scored the first goal against Guadalajara in the first round. Long throw looking for Olmo. Can't quite take it down. Villar finds Javi Moreno, out to Bernabeu. Pacheco in support, puts a cross in, he looks for Medina. And Araujo finding Lamine Yamal. Lamine Yamal dispossessed, but it's a foul. Albacete have moved up to 12th in the Segunda División after those 3 consecutive victories following their win over Real Madrid in January. Get 4 consecutive clean sheets in the Segunda. They do have a really poor defensive record, though. You wouldn't know it from the opening 34 minutes here. They have been well organised, but Marcus Rashford twists, puts a cross in. It might fall to Olmo. Frankie de Jong to Bernal. Lamine is calling for it and receives it. Goes for goal. Lewandowski was lurking. We said Albacete need runners in those kind of situations, and Medina wasn't quite getting forward quick enough. But yes, only 4 teams have conceded more goals than Albacete in the Segunda División. Yamal cutting a slightly frustrated figure. He's been well watched by Bernabeu. Javi Villar back to Lithuania. Moreno. Long ball forward towards Medina, but Eric Garcia gets there first. It's kept in by Gerard Martin. He does well to find Lewandowski, who tries to turn and is fouled. Lamine Yamal took the last free kick from this situation. It is going to be Marcus Rashford to take it this time. Or is it? Across comes Lamine for a conversation. It is Lamine Yamal in towards Araujo. Punched by Lithuania, and Olmo struck it well. Deflected behind for a corner. Rashford will take the corner right in front of the small pockets of travelling fans from Barcelona. And about a 5.5-hour drive from Barcelona to Albacete. A couple of hundred stuck in that corner there. Taken short to Lamine Yamal. Here's Cancelo. Floated in. Bernal is there. Bernabeu gets a shove. And again, Albacete hold firm. Here's Lorenzo. He might be dispossessed. He is. Here is Rashford. And it's fallen to Lamine. What a finish from Lamine Yamal. Took it first time, absolutely beautifully. Terrific goal from Barcelona. The high press to win possession back. And Lamine Yamal is in fine form. Took it first time. Executed beautifully, and Barcelona have the lead. The aggressive high press to win possession back. Frankie de Jong with the pass, Lamine Yamal with the finish. Lorenzo it was who lost the ball. Combination of Rashford and de Jong and Lamine. That is just what they wanted. A goal before half-time. They have dominated the game without creating too many clear-cut chances. with the lead. 14th goal of the season in all competitions for Lamine Yamal. The home fans are absolutely furious here, and Pacheco is telling them to show their fury to the referee. You see the replay here. He's trodden on him. He is booked. But is that enough for a second yellow card? The referee says no. Here's Puertas getting forward and winning a corner. Barcelona have conceded the vast majority of their goals in the first half of matches. And Albacete pull one back here. Medina to take the corner, it's in towards the back post. Here is Puertas. Brings it down, might need some help here, Antonio Puertas. Back to Bernabeu. It's headed clear. And Capi has to go all the way back. Well, we'll see whether or not João Cancelo comes out for the second half, or whether Hansi Flick will feel he's gotten away with one there. Pacheco. Medina to Bernabeu. Eric Garcia with a header. Almost flicks it on, and he's found Frankie de Jong, and there is a break on here for Barcelona, led by Frankie de Jong. He's got Rashford to his left, he's found Marcus Rashford. Rashford into the penalty area, drives it across. Lewandowski is inches away from connecting. Swift counter-attack from Barcelona, almost decisive from Lewandowski. De Jong to Olmo. Lamine Yamal. Back to Olmo. Here is Lamine. He's dispossessed by Medina. Lovely turn from Puertas. Doesn't have too many options. Now there are white shirts getting forward though. Puertas finds Capi. He's left it. Here is Lorenzo. Lorenzo floats in a ball, and Puertas can't connect. Terrific cross that was, and Puertas just couldn't find a meaningful connection. It was a really well-worked move from Albacete. They almost got themselves into trouble there. Marcy warming up. And if I was a betting man, I'd suggest it might be for João Cancelo. There's space here for Puertas. The offside flag has stayed down. It's a good first touch, slightly heavy. Well, in the end, it wasn't a good first touch. And in the end, Puertas can't get there. Just took it away from him. They couldn't quite believe it. Joan Garcia stepping off the pitch to give Ronald Araujo a tap, has conceded a somewhat surreal corner. Had the ball in his hand, stepped off the pitch to see his teammate, and here is a corner for Albacete to be taken by the impressive August Medina. Headed away by Lewandowski. There will be 3 minutes added on at the end of these opening 45. Barcelona with the lead. Albacete still with belief. Here is Lamine Yamal. De Jong. Here is Bernal. Lamine again. In towards Lewandowski, it's Olmo who gets the header. Not a clean connection from Dani Olmo. He has never scored in the Copa del Rey. Dani Olmo, as we see this chance for Puertas. Just was caught in two minds whether to head it across goal or try and go for goal himself, and in the end, frustration for the 33-year-old. Seeing out the remainder of this first half. Here is Lamine Yamal. Half-time at the Estadio Carlos Belmonte. Barcelona leading Albacete by a goal to nil thanks to Lamine Yamal, a fine strike from the 18-year-old. That's the difference between the two teams at the break. Albacete still in it, Barcelona with the lead. It's Albacete 0, Barcelona 1.
So here's the the good news, Ale, is that the goals exceed the expected goals for Barcelona today against Albacete. It's Lamine Yamal, the difference between the two sides right now. It took until the 39th minute, though, until he could break the deadlock. What have you thought of what you've seen so far?
We talked about how it was important for Barcelona to gain control of this match very early on and to make sure that they put this beyond doubt and take the crowd out of the game. And I think they had opportunities to do that through Marcus Rashford, a couple of chances early on. And the truth of the matter is that he did not take advantage of those opportunities. And then the crowd just kind of got into the match and Barcelona were struggling to create chances, and now it became more of a game. And he took a special finish from Lamine Yamal to make this 1-0. But Albacete still very much a protagonist in this match. They're in this. Barcelona need to put it away. It's their responsibility to do so. Albacete continue to believe, and you can hear from the fans in the stadium that continue to say, sí se puede, sí se puede, sí se puede. They still believe. You know what you need to do if you're Barcelona? You score a second goal and you take that belief away.
Yeah, big second half coming up for both of these sides, and we will have you covered for it. It is Lamine Yamal, the difference between the two teams right now. Highlights after the break. Quarter-final between Albacete from the Segunda and Barcelona, top of La Liga. Minute 4, Lamine Yamal would find Marcus Rashford. He couldn't find the back of the net.
Marcus Rashford is trying to find Robert Lewandowski and dropping the ball off to Lewandowski. And I'm thinking, if you're Marcus Rashford at the back post, you get this sort of service, you got to take it on target. He does not miss the opportunity.
And Marcus Rashford would find himself with another chance after Dani Olmo put the ball into play there.
Takes a central position, gets him behind the back line of Albacete. It's a good ball from Dani Olmo. This has to be on target. Either he takes an extra touch to leave the defender behind, or he actually puts the ball into the back of the net. He did neither.
Lamine Yamal and Danny Bernabeu having a little bit of this and that, and then came this. Potential foul in the box.
He's already on his way down. He's already losing his footing. He actually takes Bernabeu out, and actually Bernabeu had to come off the field.
Barca going to win the ball back here. Frankie de Jong put some good work in. Would find Lamine Yamal. He scores.
It's good pressure from Marcus Rashford in winning the ball back. Good pressure from Frankie de Jong as well. Then vision from Frankie de Jong. Now this ball is bouncing to Lamine Yamal. You think that maybe he's going to take a touch. He does not take it first time. It is a beautiful, classy finish from Lamine Yamal.
40th minute. Joe Cancelo commits a foul here. He was already on a yellow card from the 15th minute. He's got to be careful.
Yeah, and right after this, we saw Pau Cubarsí warming up. My guess is that Hansi Flick doesn't want to take any chances. Cubarsí may be coming in, and then perhaps Eric Garcia goes into the right back, Cancelo out.
Yes, definitely don't want to be taking any chances against Albacete, the giant killers this season, who've already knocked Celta Vigo and Real Madrid out of this very tournament. Alex Kirkland is at the stadium for us tonight. Luis Garcia has been watching as well. Not been so easy, it would seem, for Barcelona right now, Alex. However, they are leading 1-0.
Yeah, I think it's been a really competitive game. I think Albacete have done pretty well. Barca, yes, they've been the better team. Yes, they're in front, but they haven't been creating chance after clear-cut chance. Two things that really stood out for me, Kay. One, the fans here absolutely believe they can still win this game. The first thing you heard here, the first chant from the fans, seconds after Lamine Yamal put Albacete behind, was "Si se puede," yes, we can. They've seen it here. They've done it against Real Madrid. They think they can do it as well against Barcelona. The second thing, talking about that Lamine Yamal goal, I was sat here pitch side, pretty much level with Lamine Yamal when he hit that ball. And he made that finish look so easy. I can tell you it absolutely wasn't. The ball was bouncing. It's a really difficult chance for almost anybody else, but not for Lamine Yamal. And that shows you the kind of goal-scoring form he's in. I think it's 5 goals in his last 6 games. Absolutely back to his best.
How can Barca step things up in the second half and put this out of reach, Luis? What do they need to do?
I think that right now the most important for Barcelona is to keep the intensity as high as possible. At some point, Albacete will start moving forward, we start committing players forward. We saw in the last 10 minutes so much space where Barcelona can exploit it. Rashford, Lamine Yamal, Lewandowski. We're going to see that happening more and more. So if you manage the tempo right, if you keep up the speed on the ball, that Barcelona didn't do in many occasions in the first 45, it will come the second goal. In the moment that the game becoming transitions, Barcelona's got more quality, it's got more speed up front, and there will come more goals. So that's the only thing that I expect from Barcelona. Speed up the ball a little bit more in the second half, and the spaces will arrive.
Cancelo lucky to be Alaves against Real Sociedad, that's Wednesday's games, and on Thursday it's Real Betis against Atletico Madrid. Albacete fans are happy with what they've seen so far. Still in this game. Let's get it back out to our match commentator. Here's Jorge Munides.
Perhaps walking a little bit of a tightrope with the second. So off he goes. On comes Pau Cubarsí. That will mean Eric Garcia shifting to right back. Pau Cubarsí playing in the heart of defence alongside Ronald Araujo. That's the only change at the break. Albacete were forced into a change in the first half with Carlos Neva going off to be replaced by Jesus Vallejo. Underway then in the second half. Just one goal in it. Barcelona dominating possession, as you would expect. Not creating a huge amount of clear-cut chances. One really good opportunity for Marcus Rashford put through on goal, which he put wide. Apart from that, Albacete have looked pretty solid defensively. And pretty dangerous going forward on the break as well. I'm sure the half-time message from Alberto González, the Albacete coach, is that we are still in this. Here is Frenkie de Jong. Back to Marc Bernal. Now to Eric Garcia, who is one of the most versatile players you could imagine. He's played right back, left back, centre back, midfield this season. And acquitted himself really well in all of those positions. Gerard Martin to Rashford. Rashford getting past his man, driving forward into the penalty area. Marcus Rashford, Lamine wants it, Rashford pulls it back, and there's Dani Olmo, cleared off the line. Glorious opportunity for Barcelona at the start of this second half. What a run from Marcus Rashford. And that really should have been the second. Dani Bernabeu it is with the block. Brilliant direct run from Rashford. Found the pass as well. Olmo couldn't find the finish. Rashford to take. Towards Araujo's there, chipped in towards Eric Garcia and Lewandowski. Goal kick given. Danger from Barcelona at the start of this second half. So we see this pass once again. Olmo must have thought he'd scored. Bernabeu under a bit of pressure. He was convinced that the ball had taken a deflection, and actually the referee has overruled his assistant. Winning that header. Here's Lamine Yamal. Pacheco winning possession back for Albacete. Capi. Defensive covering from Frenkie de Jong. João Cancelo, 25 minutes under his belt. Out defending, but it's Bernabeu here. Barcelona's bench options warming up. It's Pacheco. Tries to go round Araujo. Forced into the corner. Will launch this in. Jesus Vallejo is up from the back. It's in towards Vallejo. A shot from Huertas. Deflected behind. The ball just seemed to hang in the air. And in the end, dropped wide for a corner. It's a massive deflection. Looped just wide. About cleared. Well, they scored from a corner at this end against Real Madrid in the previous round. Villar it was on that occasion. There are plenty of options on the bench for Hansi Flick, as we saw. Fermin Lopez, Ferran Torres, Alejandro Balde, Marc Casado, and Rudy Bardagia, those who are warming up. Albacete looking to come forward, but Olmo picking up the loose ball, can't find Lamine. Here is Pacheco, out to Bernabeu. Found Medina. Back to Bernabeu. Takes the throw. Here's Huertas. Finds a cross, but when he reaches De Jong, back will come Albacete. Here is Vallejo. To open things up as Lorenzo will chase this and force Gerard Martin into the clearance. Positive start to this second half from Albacete. Conceding a glorious opportunity inside 90 seconds, but playing on the front foot. It's Bernal. Eric Garcia. Pass is kept in by Lamine. Now with space to turn into. Martin out to Rashford. Bernal. Eric. Rashford. They'd seen Rashford. He was calling for it and he almost found him. Lovely control from Antonio Puertas. Trying to thread it through to Bernabeu. Glorious from Lamine to find Olmo. Lewandowski. Goes down. And he has cut a frustrated figure this evening, Robert Lewandowski. He's only scored one goal since the 22nd of November in La Liga. The Polish forward, 12 goals in 26 appearances in all comps. It's not been his most prolific campaign. Ferran Torres is ahead of him now in the pecking order. Here's Bernal, who's brought down by Dani Bernabeu. who is on a yellow card. That infraction, of course, not enough. For anything more. So Rashford and Lamine standing over this free kick. It was Lamine who took them in the first half. Rashford with this ball in, it's a dangerous one as well. It was allowed to bounce. Olmo will get there. Here's Bernal. Maybe another corner to Barcelona. One of the most prolific sides from set pieces in La Liga. Barcelona. Ronald Araujo making a nuisance of himself in the penalty area. In from Rashford, in towards Araujo! Fabulous header from Barcelona's captain to double their advantage. It is a beautiful ball in, and Araujo on his return to the starting 11 finds the back of the net. It is a big moment for the captain. He has been through some dark times, but that goal bringing a ray of light and doubling Barcelona's lead. It's a great ball in. And a really committed header from Araujo. As I said, they have been really strong from set pieces. And that embrace with the manager speaking volumes. Back come Barcelona now with a comfortable lead, and here is Lamine Yamal, floats a ball in and it falls to Lewandowski. Straight at the keeper from Lewandowski, in a position from which you would expect him to score. Lorenzo in a bit of trouble and brought down. It is a long way back now for Albacete. There is still time though. The goal gets them back in the game. Towards the near post. No corner given. Beautiful ball to Ferran. Pass that is from Lamine Yamal, the vision to spot that pass was on. Could easily have gone for goal, and it does look like you're witnessing the evolution of Lamine into a player who spots those kind of passes rather than go for goal itself. Brilliant, brilliant pass. Ferran unable to finish. From Casado. Medina, nicely done by Alves Medina. Eric Garcia. Lamine Yamal again. Here is Lamine Yamal into the box to Ferran. Can he get the shot away? Ferran! Opportunity to down. Scored the weekend, Ferran Torres against Elche. Missed 100 chances. He's enjoying his best ever scoring season. Ferran already had a couple of very decent opportunities in this game since coming on. Obviously had a special game for Fermin Lopez. He had a special game for Andres Iniesta, competent in his home province. This match is going to be special and historic for him between the two clubs he loves the most. There is a statue of Iniesta outside the ground here. He played for Albacete for a couple of years when he was a very small child before going to La Masia. Here is Fermin finding Lamine. Able to link up with Eric Garcia. Has a really strong connection with Virgil Putte down the right hand side. Lamine Yamal. Quite on the same wavelength. Here is Putte. Gomez. Back in with Kubasi.
Lesova,
Vallejo.
Alba Balba.
Finding Medina.
Görma, içeriteru. Orada kanka. Tienes kanka.
Chance of substitution for Albacete.
Albacete.
Two changes. Numbers is frantically
tince ceva națel. Referee. Friki ura. İki çedo biga. Evet, ulaştı. Miamis, to je miamis klinc. Evet, kamera çıkılması. İyi. Ayağına bu. Kapinara voting. Nas parka. Boyavчалар шүү дуудсан гам. Лөө чта сураад кашарсан гам. Например, 12 паркет уж. წარაუღონ. տեսოვეკა. ჟულიკნეკა, ჟულიკა. ლიბერპული. მაზრე ბურფეჭა. ეს. ეს ხანგარჯეს. ჟულიკნეკა, ჟულიკა. ეს ფერმინელა ხაღო. წეცქება. წეცქება. აფესა ხანგარმოში. კუნდე ტატა მითხატვი? ბეინი ნეიტმე კუნდე იყო. Ja, waan dan Amerikaan kurtennes, wat is? Zo'n chara pocha kan hier kennen hier komen. Dat is niet dan. Barcelona çözüm kala. Gönlümde et agalı, gönlümde et agalı. Zala çuna. Gorka pelal zala çuna kagalı. Lewandowski'nčka. Čau. Offside.
Putting the ball into the back of the net, and the third time of asking. The outside flag is up. It's tight against Puertas. It's not the most conclusive of angles, but it did look like maybe hit a shoulder. It's being checked. And the check is over. So Albacete finally getting the ball in the back of the net, just as we said they needed them to. Denied by the offside flag, Fermin.
Barsachi base, tennis.
Fermin staying back, not offering the outlet. He's gone down. He's played the full 90 minutes for the last two Copa del Rey games. In fact, he's played all but 15 minutes across the last 13 matches in La Liga. He is not resting. He had the groin issue earlier on in the season, Lamine Yamal, but that seems to be behind him now. Going long. Time ticking away from Albacete. It has been a spirited performance from the second division side. And as it stands, they're going out, unless they can find a miracle in these last 5 minutes. They need 2 goals to force it.
Minns Albacete tem varit alla Galatasaray ja sitten med Barcelona
They have a free kick.
Mușcată geam.
So, a chance here for Albacete. It's a great ball in! And it's a fabulous goal! Javi Moreno with a thunderous header. Albacete are back in this game with 5 minutes to go. What a beautiful ball in. And what a header that is.
Ens Oliver Jennus'un Kavantens. Kavatse kala.
A sensational goal from Albacete. They had the ball in the back of the net just a couple of minutes ago. Well, now this is being checked. For offside.
Nimi taas Robert Kitseskovic.
It looks very, very, very tight. But it's given. The goal stands. And we are in for a grandstand finish now. Here is Lamine Yamal. To De Jong. Barcelona looked like they had this game completely under control. They have let Albacete back into it.
illegal. Yamal Masi.
¡Gol! ¡Vamos!
Alme köpek Arafat.
Ferran Torres.
Çek markasları kaynasın.
Ferran Torres.
Ferran çek markasları kaynasın.
Ferran Torres.
Zaten görseler ki böyle gidesin. Offside. Game on dedi.
injury time goals against Celta Vigo and Real Madrid. But the full-time whistle blows at the Carlos Belmonte. Barcelona are through to the semi-finals. Albacete
Barcelona
through
semifinal
on the
set.
parade.
Barcelona semifinal.
Semifinals.
Barcelona.
Semifinals.
They fought and they
Julia.
competed, but ultimately they were defeated by Barcelona.
Jag hade den Sara.
It is now
Om
the
no
Carlos
semifinal.
Belmonte is finished. Albacete 1,
Silvia.
Barcelona 2.
Semifinal.
Dame el gordo y el pecado, Silvia. ¿Ah? El pecado, gordo.
Hello and welcome into the latest edition of ESPN FC. Kay Murray, Alessandro Moreno and Stephen Nicol here in the studio. We've got a lot of cup action to show you today, but we'll kick things off with the game between Albacete and Barcelona. That's where we are just picking up from. It was the Copa del Rey quarter-final, both sides battling it out for a spot in the semi. Albacete knocked Real Madrid out, you'll remember, in the last round, and Celta before that, so they've been the giant killers, and they were the hosts today for this game. We take it to the 7th minute. Hansi Flick's been talking about Marcus Rashford having to do a little bit more for his side. He might have wanted more here.
Yeah, I mean, it looks as though he's in total control, but unfortunately the strike, which I'm assuming he was trying to put in the bottom corner, was miles off.
To the 39th minute we go. Barca win the ball back here. Frankie de Jong's going to find Lamine Yamal. He scores.
Turnover from Lorenzo Waddle, trying to play out of the back. Good pressure from both Marcus Rashford and Frankie de Jong. Good vision from Frankie de Jong. Now this pass from Frankie de Jong, he's dancing all over the place. You think that maybe Yamal is going to take a touch. He does not take the first time. Beautifully done, 1-0.
Joe Cancelo got the start today. He got a yellow card in the 15th minute, and he was lucky not to get another here.
I don't think this is a yellow card. He's got to the ball just before his opponent. That's a complete and utter accident. Had he gotten a yellow, that would have been a travesty.
Flick wasn't taking any risks though. Kubasi would come on for him for the second half. 56 minutes. Here we see Araujo making it 2.
He does well. Ronald Araujo is going away from goal, generates a whole lot of power behind it. Goalkeeper gets a hand on it, but it's not enough. Hug with Hansi Flick. Maybe the game is over. We'll see.
Yamal here with the ball to Lewandowski, ending up missing there.
Yeah, unlike him. It's the goalkeeper. Either side would have been a goal.
Jefte Bentancur, the hero of the last game, came on here. Pass to Araujo, missed the chance.
He may have been offside regardless. He played on. Araujo slips, forces Efte to take it to the inside, but it's a missed opportunity.
72nd.
Oh dear.
Very close here from Bentancur.
Oh, that's horrible. It's a free header. It's actually pick where you're putting it. Instead he picks it over the crossbar.
Ball played through here. Antonio Puertas would score, but offside.
It's Efte who scores, and Antonio Puerta is the one that's leaning in an offside position. You have to be very disciplined if you're Barcelona with a high line. They were there, not so much here.
87th minute. Javi Moreno would score here.
Well, they were pushing and pushing and pushing, and eventually they got the goal, and of course, not that long to go, you know it's going to be a grandstand finish. It's a super header.
And then it looked as though Barcelona had just made sure that it wasn't going to be these tense few minutes here as Ferran Torres seemed to kill the dream off.
It's a gorgeous ball from Gerard Martin from the left-hand side. Ferran Torres is, when we say leaning, we mean leaning in an offside position.
And then a very late chance would come here. You're going to see Albacete with another chance here. It is Gomez at the back post. A little bit of chaos, but it wouldn't manage to go over the line.
Well, when your keeper goes out and you're a good defender, you get on the line, and that's exactly what Gerard Martin did there. Home header, game-winning header.
Albacete can certainly hold their heads up high after the run that they have had, but the journey and the fairy tale stops here at the quarter-final stage. They were absolutely brilliant on their way to this, as mentioned, took Real Madrid out. Came close to making things a little bit scary for Barcelona, but it is Barcelona who will progress to the next round of the Copa del Rey, the semi-finals, as they would finish this game with a 2-1 win. So here's how things are looking, and it's another good result for Hansi Flick. He's done so well in this competition since he came in at Barcelona, and he's getting another tick in that box against Albacete, who did give them a few scares, but in the end, Barcelona would come through. Luis Garcia is watching this game with us today. Some tense moments in the closing stages there, Luis.
Yeah, it was exciting at the last moment and something that we were expecting from that fantastic crowd at Albacete. Spirit, the dream of becoming a semi-finalist on this beautiful competition. Wasn't in the end come true, but definitely they deserve something else because in the last 20 minutes we saw an Albacete that wanted to get that equalizer, trying to get something. Barcelona, with all the rotation, kind of lost the control of the game, something that I think it was the most important. They came out in the second half with a little bit faster, moving the ball a little bit faster than we as in the first 45. They found the back of the net once again. Again, I think that they should have put a few more goals into the goal because the chances were there. But they allowed Albacete, and I was mentioning during the halftime, if you allow them to believe, the crowd will push you, and in the end you'll have problems. That's what we saw in the last few minutes. Excitement, but in the end it was Barcelona who is going to go through to the semi-finals. I think they did a good job during the 90 minutes, but didn't get that control that we were expecting.
They knew it wasn't going to be easy today, Barcelona, didn't they?
Yeah, obviously this team beat Real Madrid. They are Albacete, and we knew that the crowd was going to be tense and the crowd was going to be all over this team. And si se puede, yes we can. This whole idea of Albacete once again being able to beat a giant of Spain. When Barcelona scored the second goal, and I said at halftime, Barcelona scored a second goal, this game is like match. But see, here's the thing. I'm sitting comfortably in a very nice, cool studio, thousands of miles away